What up? So it's been a while since I made a video, and I'm trying to make the videos more about spirituality and just getting to the root of everything. So it's been a minute, but I'm gonna try. So we're gonna keep it light. We're gonna just very light. We're just gonna talk about the universe, the devil, God, where we are in this plan. So I'm going to start off by defending the devil. Yep, I'm doing it. I'm defending the devil, you know, because I don't know. Lately, I just feel like a lot's been blamed on the devil and evil. And, we've been drawing too many lines on things that I don't think are. So now, I've personally seen the devil. I have locked eyes with the devil. I know what it is. I've seen it before. And I know what it is. And I know where it comes from. It's, a lot of people just don't understand what it is. And that's my thing. You know, I'm kind of sick and tired of the way God's portrayed as light and the devil's portrayed as this darkness. Like, God is all good, no bad, and then the devil is all bad, no good. It's just. So, the truth is, the devil did nothing to you. I don't give a shit. I don't care what you say. The devil did nothing. You did. What do you hear? The devil, he is this, this evil he tempts you. The devil's just gonna come over and, shake her tits in your face, and you're just gonna, like, it's a cop out to me, you know? It's a cop out to me. The devil, what? He can only push you, and he can tempt you and all this stuff. But you're the victim. No, it's just not how it works. And, lately I've been going to church a little bit more. And then, they say the enemy. The devil's the enemy. It's like, oh, okay. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. Every obstacle that you face is you. You are the obstacle. You are the challenge that you have to face. You are the one thing in the mirror. Wasn't it like that Rocky Balboa movie or Creed or something where you like, that thing in the mirror is the toughest thing you're ever going to fight because it's true. You're battling yourself, See, like anger. Well, I got anger. I got anger for you. I got unnatural levels of anger. Did it come from the devil? No. It came from God. It didn't come from the sky, it came from God. It's an illness that I have to deal with. Did that lust come from the devil? And I'm guilty of sin on that. Did the lust, no. That's me being horny. That's, me being a human being, not keeping myself on track with things. Like, I'm just, so, years ago after Hurricane Katrina, I've seen the devil. I locked eyes with the devil. I know what it is. And, I tell everybody, I made peace with the devil. I made peace with the devil. Did I make a deal with him? No. I made peace with it because I understood what it is. You know, do you go outside? You know, I'm in Colorado Springs. You go outside, beautiful sky, beautiful mountains. Do you ever walk outside and just like all of a sudden a pocket of darkness just pops up and the devil demons freaking come running? No, it doesn't happen. You know, has it happened before? Oh, but like, but like, it's but like I said, man, there's no devil that's gonna just pop up out of nowhere. Sometimes it does happen, but like most of the time, you know what I'm saying? It's blue skies. There's nothing wrong in the universe. Everything is okay. Everything is going to be fine. If you want to know where the devil is, it's right here. This go in the bathroom and look in the mirror. That's where the devil is. That's where he is. You know, it's like that angel and the devil on your side, but it's not. It's just you. And I made a video about true happiness and following yourself and becoming who you are, because we create barriers. We prevent ourselves from becoming better versions of ourselves. And it takes a lot of growing up, a lot of things to overcome, And that's why I'm starting off with defending the devil, because once you take accountability of everything, you know, is there challenges? Yeah. It's just, I've had sick, twisted thoughts in my brain. Sick, twisted thoughts. Did that come from the devil? No. That came from me and my twisted reality and my illness going through whatever I'm going through. I've had some amazing thoughts. I've had some terrible thoughts. I've had some, it doesn't originate from this darkness. You know what I'm saying? The enemy is you. Everything that you see in the world is just a reflection of you. You can't really experience the world because all our perception is what we see, taste, hear, feel, the sounds, everything. We think we're seeing the world, but it's us interpreting the world, so we really don't know what we're, because what's in my head is different than what's in your head. I've said the same thing to so many different people, and so many people have taken it so different. I've said something that I thought was pro God, and people are like thinking I'm an atheist or something. And it's like, no, I'm just saying that there's a bigger picture. And when I understood that the devil is me, I stopped feeding it. That story about the wolf, one's, good and one, it's all about whatever what it's the wolf that you feed or whatever is the one that it's true. Like, that's what it is, If you give in to the darkness is going to fill the life. If you give into the light, yes. But like the bigger, higher goal is to eliminate those boundaries. Kind of like what the Sith Lord says in Star Wars. It's a point of view. It's a perception. And I'm defending the devil because, take some accountability in life. You know, when I lose my mind and I snap and I, go crazy, that's not the devil. That's me losing control. Is it, you know, your stories about possession, right? I just watched a video about it. And the one thing that I thought of, since I got this dog right here, when was the last time you saw an animal possessed? When was the last time you saw your dog stand up on two legs and fucking, look at you like a fucking demon and shit and start speaking in five languages? When did you see your dog, your cat, your bird? When did you see anything in nature do that? No, you've only seen human beings do that, because whatever that is, that's just like a conduit. Like like it's a human problem. Whatever that is, it's a human problem. You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I hope I didn't lose you by what I'm saying. I know this is freaking hard to believe, and I'm kind of ranting, but like, my point is that if you take accountability and say that I'm gonna face the darkness, see, my point of view is different. You know, I believe that I have the choice, and that my connection with God and everything else is one thing, but it's me, you know? It's ultimately me, you know? I have to face the darkness. I have to face the challenge, the unknown, my fears. I'm the one, you know? And it's just, I get tired of the cop out. The devil's gonna do this. Okay. You know, when I made peace with the devil because I'm not giving into it. I've been through some of the hardest challenges in my life the last couple of years, losing my mom, just recently my grandpa. I feel like shit. The fears taking over me. I'm going through the court thing. That's putting all this negative stuff on me. What's my excuse? Oh, the devil. He's, oh my God, the darkness, the enemies. No, man. Because for one, I don't work that way. I, I mean, I'd rather die than give in. You know what I'm saying? And it's just another challenge. It's just another challenge. To me, I embrace the challenge. I embrace the fight. But this is more like a rant. People need to own up to what they are. God is real, and we have a choice. Some people think we don't have a choice. That we're just, a victim of circumstance. I don't like that word victim. But like, this is about taking charge in your life, man. You know, and everybody says, put your faith in God and everything, which I do. I've given it all to God. I can't, like it's in His hands. Like it's already done. So what? Jesus take the wheel and I'm done. My part's over. No. See, like, I can't rely on what God's going to do. Do I sound stupid am I crazy for saying that? If I put everything in God's hands, it's over. Therefore, oh yeah. No. I don't know. I believe God helps those who helps themselves, and I am trying to make a difference. It's like that Michael Jackson song. If you want to make a change, take a look at yourself in the mirror and make a change. Like, that's what you got to do. I'm going to make another video about the reality of what God is and all that stuff. But like right now, I'm defending the devil because I don't like. It's a cop out to me. To me, it's a cop out. The darkness. Oh yeah, yeah. A gun is a gun. It's an inanimate object. It doesn't do anything. A gun in my hand is a whole different thing. Drugs. It's an inanimate object. It has no power. It has nothing over you. It took a long time for me to realize that. That want and that craving is not the devil. That's your illness. That's an illness. Anger, sadness, depression, lust. That stems from a deeper source within you. It's not the devil. It's you. You have to work on yourself as a person. And yeah, I'm just tired of this good, the light versus the dark. And it's like, if I remember correctly, reading the Bible, God did some pretty, did some gnarly stuff. Why is God all good? Haven't you had, here, quick question. Haven't you had something in your life that was absolutely terrible and it worked out? It ended up helping you as a person? Like me on probation. Did that help me quit drugs? A little bit. But not really. But like, it did, like it's a lot of, it's a wake up call, and we all need it, me especially, I need a slap to the face. But it's just like, I'm sick and tired of this cop out that I've been just hearing lately, Personally, I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in hell. I know this might upset you or whatever. I don't know. I don't care. I'm saying there is no hell. It doesn't make sense to me. There is a heaven, but there is no hell. And you know what I'm saying? Are there demons and monsters? I've seen them with my own eyes. Yes, there are there. But our understanding isn't there yet. So my dog, where is he in the grand scheme of things? Does he go to heaven or hell? You tell me. Because I've had it before where the church, they tell me God put animals for me. What do I know about the ecosystem and everything? I am an animal, a part of the ecosystem. God didn't put anything for me. God didn't give me anything except for a few gifts. God didn't give me the planet for me to just, that's a story in the Bible. God gave the earth and all the animals to us. Conceited much, right? Though that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go outside and just say, yeah, it's all mine. No, it's not. You got to be a little bit more humble. You got to understand that you don't matter in this universe. You don't matter. Why do you exist? You tell me. You tell me what the meaning of life is. Do you know? I don't know. I just know that there's something in my heart. There's this pulse, this animal, this thing that wants to live. It craves a life of meaning. I want to play guitar till my fingers break off. I want to live. I want to, I want to run and run faster and faster, lift more, like I just, I'm an extremist, I'm addicted to life. And like, once you see that, like, for example, like drugs and stuff, like, it's not, I don't know. That shit pisses me off. It's just that, like, the devil is innocent in my eyes. If I'm sitting here over here in the corner saying, do it, I'm, and then you do it or don't do it, it's your choice. The devil exists in here. This is where the devil is. You know where God exists too? Everywhere. Here's the funny thing. God is everywhere, everything, all shapes, all sizes, right? God is everything. Point to the devil. No, it's right here, you know? Where's God? Right here. Where's the devil? Right here. You know? Where are you at? In fucking cloud nine. You don't know where the fuck you're at. Excuse my language. You know? You're sitting there overwhelmed in your own petty thoughts. All the thoughts that I can think about right now, they're meaningless. I've had sick, twisted thoughts. Is that an alien or a darkness coming over me? No, that's just I've had a thought. I'm like, whoa, just move on. Me acting on something is a whole different thing. I've had, who's had, you telling me you've had nothing but good thoughts your whole life? That's bullshit. I'm just saying, I've taken accountability. And when you take accountability, every step that I take has to take me in, a direction, I'm trying. That's all that matters is that you try. You're going to fail. Failure is a good thing. But you just got to get over this stuff. I hate when people draw lines. You're going to draw a line, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm starting this video defending the devil because it's you. It was always you. It's always been you. And yeah, just own up to the demons. Don't I have some demons. Oh yeah. But they don't have power over me because I know what they are. I've came to this realization. I didn't pick up a Bible. I didn't, go to some Buddhist monastery. I didn't do some cult worshiping thing. No, I looked in the I looked in the mirror and I faced the demon, and that's what I did. I faced it. And it's about attacking your problems head on. That's just my belief. But yeah, so take, I don't know. I'm pretty much, I ran out of things to say. That was my main thing. I'm just frustrated with people's petty views, and then they give you an opinion, and here I am literally in the battlefield, fighting on the battlefield of good and evil and all that stuff, and then I hear someone say, oh, the devil's just shut up, man. You don't know where you are in this grand scheme, and a lot of things that the main thing that I noticed when I went to church is that people want to feel good. They want to think that they're doing something good. They want to, if I go to church, I don't know. I've never felt that way. I don't believe that I need anything. I don't believe I need anything. I have God. That's literally it. I've been told that believing in God without going to church is not the same thing. I've been told that. I've been told animals don't have souls. I've been told that I could do nothing but evil. I could do nothing but evil. I've been told this. I can do just evil, evil, evil. Hurting people, all that. But if I believe in Jesus and that he's died on the cross for my sins, I'm forgiven. That's a cop-out, man. That's a cop-out. I'm sorry. This might offend you, but it's a cop-out to me. The only thing that's been, what's been guaranteed? What's been guaranteed to you? Nothing. Nothing was promised to you. You don't know if you're going to live to see tomorrow, later today. You don't, nothing was promised to you. You have to make the choice. You have to face the battle. You have to fight forward for something that's greater than you, you know? So it just, all that is just, I don't work that way because nothing in life works that way. Have I given everything to Jesus? Yes. I don't talk about Jesus too much because he's personal to me. He's a very, very personal thing. At a young age, I played a video game called Mega Man X. Very young, I saw Zero sacrifice himself. And, it's a Super Nintendo game. The graphics, but just that sacrifice just meant something to me. Every time I've seen an act where someone sacrificed, and then I saw The Passion of Christ, jeez, I saw that movie, and then I have a special relationship with God and Jesus because he's a separate thing to me. And when I go to church and I just hear just how they talk about Jesus, it kind of upsets me. Why does that upset you, Michael? Because I have a personal relationship. That's like you're married with your wife, and then all you go to a place and they say that they know your wife better. Or like my dog, like, oh, they know my dog way better than me, right? No, I know. I am the one with the deep relationship. And to me, it's personal, It's always been personal. God's always been there in my life. I never had to look for him. He was always there. That's, every problem that I've had stemmed from me. And yeah, I've made mistakes. Are you going to get hung up on it? Don't get hung up on that. Just keep moving. Boom. Keep moving. Keep going. Bam. Keep moving. Roll, move. It's just, I get upset, when, I don't know. This is a rant. It's getting to be a rant, but that's how I feel, So just like my thing is just take accountability for you and find find the thing that your heart wants to go for. Your heart is what you need to be listening to. The things in your mind and the devil possessing you this is made up. Anything that's floating around here is pretty much a lie. It's not real. I want you to pull a thought out of your head and show it to me. It doesn't exist. Everything floating in your head that you ever hear people, I can't control my thoughts. My brain, but it's because you have no control over your brain. How do you control your brain? Meditate. I don't know what the hell. You know what I'm saying? Find peace. This is not real. This is real. This is everything. You could feel it in your bones. That's real. How do you know that someone loves you? How do you know? You just know, right? You just know. That ain't something that you think about. All that twisted and all that weird shit in your head, deal with it. Face the fucking demon. Face your fears. Once you face it and you come head to head with it, you smash through that barrier, now we're in a different place. You've made the change. I learned going to school to be a personal trainer that people do not want to make changes because change is hard. Yeah. Do it. And God is this light and the devil is this pit of despair. No, man. Is life evil? Is life good? Or is life just life? You just have to accept what it is. Life is just life. There are things out in the world that you just, things that just happen and you're just like, it's divine intervention. And it is. But life is life. It's not, it's you that's making it dark. It's you that's making it light. You know, I've had terrible things happen to me, made me a better person. I've had wonderful things happen to me and it's added to it, you know? You know, I've had a moment where I was doing everything right, doing it right. I'll wake up the next day feeling like crap. Then I gave in, and then I was like, well, gave into that little devil. And, he's like, go ahead, just have a little bit of alcohol, listen to music, do what you normally do. Sure enough, did that, woke up the next day perfectly fine. Thinking to myself, man, I should do that more often, But you know what I'm saying. It's a joke, but not everything is cut and dry. Not everything's written in stone. God's will, God's message is a living message, right? That's what it is. It's a living, breathing thing. If being super hard and disciplined is how you get out of the hole, who am I? Who am I to say anything? I'm just telling you the truth that I'm tired of the cop out. I'm just the devil. I made peace with him, because I know what he is. He's right here. And the devil, you can, it's what you give him, and it's just, I made peace with that because I'm no longer fighting myself. I quit putting energy into the fight of myself. There is a fight out there. There is a war against good and evil. It's out there. It's the universe. It's when you fight yourself, you're not going nowhere. You're just creating obstacles and obstacles. When you realize that it was all a mirage and that none of it's real, this is literally an optical illusion. Scientifically proved, this is an optical illusion. This is not real. Most of the atoms in the universe are empty. Nothing, this is a hologram. This isn't real. You know what I'm saying? Good and evil, you know? For example, like I've talked to my uncle Junior, right? I was, going through a hard thing and I talked to him, How did I talk to him? Explain it. I can't. I just know that was him. How, why? You tell me how and why. All I know is that if when God appears, I'm like, oh hey, how you doing? I just accept that that's God. If an alien pops up out of the blue, I'm gonna be like, okay, let's deal with the alien, deal with the monster, deal with the demons, deal with it. I don't live in fear. I have fear, but I don't live in it. It's about facing the challenge. My theory, head on. Just blast me out of a fucking cannon and just shoot me into just shoot me in. Just it's about making a difference in your life. You have to be the god of your life. Or just fuck around and just continue that cycle, get nowhere. I see so many people struggling with a lot of things. And me too. But own up to it. Because if anyone's going to make a difference, you're going to have to look in the mirror and make a change. So take accountability and just be yourself. What's wrong with that? Another thing about the Christians, they just, lust is evil. I mean, it is kind of, but, what? I'm not supposed to, some hot chick walks by me. I'm not supposed to look. I mean, it's a natural thing. Why is it natural? I guess I'm a typical, I guess I'm a typical man, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm a dog in heat. I'm just saying lust and sexual desire is a human program. Anger is a human program. It is a illusion. It's a program. It's a program. Who you are, like I said, that video, who you are, who are you? Do you know who you are? Yes, I know who I am. Cool. What are you? I don't get the question. I don't get the what are you? Human? Okay. And what? See, I know what I am. For some reason, music always spoke to me. I don't know why. I don't know why that I can hear the music, I can taste it, I just, that's what I am. That's what I am. I don't know why that I see some challenges, I see an impossible feat, and everything inside me just wants to just get out there and try it. I don't know why. That's just what I am. You know, when I heard that story of that Navy SEAL that threw himself on the grenade, and like the reaction time of doing that, like that's what he was. The man that threw himself on the grenade and like saved his squad, that's not a choice he made. He didn't make a choice. It was too fast. And it's not some obligation of being this better person that made it. It was something in his soul. His soul just did it. You know what I'm saying? Your soul just knows. You have to get connected with your soul. Get connected with your soul. And stop looking at places. If you need to go to the church, I'm not saying nothing bad. If you need to read the Bible, read the Bible. If you need to do whatever, do it. If it makes you a better person, yes, yes, yes. You know, but just understand that you are God. You are the God of your life. God gave us a choice. If you failed the test, fuck it. Do it again. Again and again and again. Fail, 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 fail. Fail, fail, fail. Eventually, you're going to win, or you just keep spinning your wheels. You know, you have to challenge yourself and you have to overcome. And that's just my belief. You know, God's always been there, but, you know, it's my life too. You know, I've given it to God, but it's my life too. It's your life, your choice, your actions, everything. Just do the right thing and listen to your heart, man. Listen to listen to that voice, you know? Because it really is that story of the wolf or whatever where it's the one you feed. It really is. Stop, it's a challenge, but what? You want life to be easy? Okay, right? It is easy actually. Quit. Just cut the bad food off the you know, the table. Quit eating it. Quit poisoning your mind. And you already know. Do you have to be told that do you have to be told that drugs are bad? Do you have to be told that porn is bad? Do you have to be told this? Do you have to be told, like when you hear a story of like a child being beaten and raped and killed and stuff, is there a cure for that? Is there a cure for a rapist? No. It's because it's an illness. It's an illness. It's a sickness. You know what I'm saying? It's a sickness. Like, yeah. And yeah, just don't let, just, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. You know what I meant. So, What I mean is, live your life and be happy that you are alive.